What's up, everybody? Welcome to Convict Inc. This is your host, Robert Rosso, coming to you from inside the Washington County Detention Center, where I'm currently awaiting transportation to the Bureau of Prisons, and hopefully out to a halfway house not long after that. Anyway, there was a story that I was going to do prior to getting incarcerated again, and I'm going to be vague for reasons that are obvious. Mainly, the statute of limitation in this case ran out. I checked about this. The person doesn't want to be identified because he actually has a very important job, and even though he's struggling and really wants to come on and say stuff a lot, he's not, and I agree with him at this time. Anyway, in the early 90s, an 18-year-old kid gets arrested for, I think it was carjacking or a series of things that had to do with stolen vehicles. Gets sentenced to state custody, goes into state prison for about 2 years, where he meets a career bank robber. Not only a bank robber, his cellie was a guy who did armed robberies, different stuff like that. And the guy at the time, young, had being a career criminal on his mind. He gets released on parole from the Department of Corrections, and I'm being vague about that. And for 40 days, he's out and goes and starts honing in his craft, I should say, and that was bank robberies. And this wasn't just run in and with a note or whatever. This was like he did some research. Yes, he was spun out on methamphetamine the whole time, but did a lot of research on the crimes. Anyway, a lot of banks, gets hit, goes to the feds, where I meet him in 1998. We became friends. He did about 20 years on and off. That's what the violation. And gets out and relocates to a different state where he meets a girl. The girl was somebody that was involved in the drug life, I guess you would say, and he was. However, I need to add that this person does have a lot of self-discipline, to be honest, and stopped a lot. Can stop, go on a run, stop. As he got older, he became a lot more disciplined. Well, while he was incarcerated in the feds, he really paid close attention to the guys that had big robbery charges, namely armed robbery, armored cars, bank heist, stuff like that. Now, me, I always think like bank robbery's dead, especially with the computers and all that other stuff. And to a certain extent, most of the people that rob banks drop notes still. There are the exceptions. But this guy paid close attention to some of the guys that were newsworthy, guys out of Boston. I'm not going to even say that names because I don't want too much of a connection, but guys that there's movies about. And he was also read a lot of magazines, sci-fi magazines, stuff on disguises and stuff like that. So when he gets out, meets the girl, and again, he knows a lot about cars from his childhood, knows about stolen vehicles, stolen motorcycles, this and that. And he ends up really doing a lot of research through what he learned in the feds and did a series of armed robberies, and he did bank drops. So when the money, he got the armored truck, and I have a little cold, yes. What he was doing was he was watching when the bank drops came in, when the armored cars came in and dropped money in smaller locations. There were 3 totaling over $300,000 that he got away with. He was on federal supervised release at the time, and doing great, by the way, on the surface. Had no problems, no dirties. Everything was going really well. Had a probation address. Well, then the feds come in and find out that he's also living in an exclusive area with a girl, and they raid the house and find nothing. They believe they know they got the guy. They have the target. Matter of fact, they even told him, the probation officer even told him, but there was nothing they can do, no violation to be had because there was nothing got. Subsequently, he did another series of crimes that were unrelated to armed robberies, and one of them nearly went bad. And at that point, him and the girl made a decision that they had to stop their crime. She worked with him, as a matter of fact. And in what role, it's not important. But the two were in love and decided to give up crime altogether. Now, most people would say bullshit. A lot of times, when you've been around crime your entire life, you have the connections, the means, or whatever. it's hard to let go. But anyway, they did, and the agreement was they would get married and start a normal life. They had some money from the heists, and that they did, completely quit. But they also made a pact to get sober, no more drugs. They drank, no more drugs. He gets a job that can't believe he likes and excelled at, and then there's some trouble that started on her end. When he was out of town, he would hear her voice different, found out she was dabbling, using, which she confessed. And then the one that really sealed the deal that ended the relationship was he found out that that while they were on vacation visiting one of his friends, she cheated on him when he was drunk and passed out, and that ended that relationship. He was heartbroken, for sure. And but he stayed in with the job and excelled, never looked back on crime. And to this day, I will say this, amazing story of how people can actually change and turn around. Doing really well. He met a new girl. He's married. They have a kid, and he's not looking back. There are success stories when it comes to people just walking away. I'm not trying to glamorize the part that he got away with the crime. I'm just trying to say that there are people that do change, and this is a remarkable story. Like I said, statute of limitations on this has run out. I actually did some research and came close, really close to going on and using a different name when I was out, and it was decided not to, again, because of he's excelling at his job. So that's just one I wanted to put out there. It's called, I'm titling this thing, Smooth Criminal, falls in love, or retires for love, and he did, but I guess in the end, he fell in love with the wrong person at first and then turned it around. And that's the way it is. Anyway, on a personal note, like I said, I'm just waiting to be sent to the feds, and we'll see what happens. And I will say Washington County Detention Center, not what it used to be when I was here last time. That's all I got to say. All right. Thanks for the support. I really appreciate it. Working on trying to do something different here, coming up with Micah videos. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Take care.